Welcome to Transits Fridays. Let's have a look at what's happening astrologically from Friday today, the 26th of April, until next Friday. So let's have a look at the planetary movements. We have a less busy week. We had a very, very busy week. We had the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, and they're still traveling quite together. So we're still basking in that energy. But we also had a full moon in Scorpio this week, which was quite intense, isn't it? There's an intensity in the air. And I guess every time we have a full moon Scorpio, there is some intense emotions in the air. Like we can't deny somehow. So let me share my screen. For this week, we do have a couple of ingresses, so planets entering signs, but we also have Pluto moving backwards. So Pluto will be stationing to go retrograde. So those are the major movements this week, not as busy as last week. Mercury is going direct as well, finally, since a couple of days ago. And how are you feeling? I mean, I love to ask that. And I might be taking a little longer to reply to comments, but that's just for now. From the second semester, I'll be freer and I'll be focusing. I'll be bringing more of my energy back here to the channel. But I love this channel and I love you being here as well, and sharing with me here is just a real honor, and I love it. And please keep doing it, even if I take a little longer to respond these 2 months. So let me know in the comments, how was this mad week? And if you could feel the Jupiter-Uranus energy or not. And I don't think we have a third world war. Whoever was watching me and saying that I was wrong and it was going to be a third world war, well, that's not really happening. So, yeah, so let's have a look at this week thing. And this is the transits for today. So we've got Mars quite close to Neptune, and this is one of the main transits of this week. So during the weekend, really, that's when we have the exact conjunction. Here we are, 28 degrees, Pisces, Mars, Neptune meeting in the sky. This is going to be on the 28th of April as well. So there's a lot of 28, 28, 28, 28. Anyhow, this conjunction is wonderful for meditation, spiritual practices, dancing, putting your energy into any artsy project, just really doing something selfless. That's another way that we can mix Mars and Neptune, but potentially not the best time for assertion and being clear about boundaries. I think Mars and Neptune getting together like this might confuse our sense of boundaries and our sense of assertiveness as well. Like we're not so sure if it's okay or not okay, certain things. So good time to retreat a little bit, maybe, and just take your time with this energy and do some inner work rather than externalizing it. I think externalizing the Mars Neptune is a great way if we're doing something artsy, if we're doing something creative. That's a wonderful way of doing it. Otherwise, I think it's a good time to go inwards and do some inner work, some inner Mars activities. All in all, I think Mars Neptune can be a very inspiring time if we're not dying to be really assertive and clear and trying to express anger. Monday, 29th of April, that's the birthday of a dog I had. He was born on the 29th of April, so he was a Taurus. And he was a St. Bernard. I had a St. Bernard, just ginormous and really, really lovely in temper and personality. He was just really wonderful. He passed 2012, I think, 2011. I was in England. I didn't have the chance to say goodbye. But anyhow, I'm digressing massively. What I really wanted to share with you here is that 29th of April is the day that Venus is entering Taurus. So this is one of the ingresses. and Venus is entering its own sign. Venus in Taurus is quite powerful and is a great time for getting in touch with our values. I think it will sort of reinforce the Taurian energy that we're already feeling, that we were already getting in touch with Taurus season, and the Taurian energy of that Jupiter-Uranus conjunction as well. So I think Venus will just emphasize that energy a little bit more. And it is a wonderful time to do self-care, to do all the things that has to do with self-worth, valuing ourselves. Wonderful time to go to a spa and have some massages, like do some really Venus in Taurus things. Now, the catch here is that as soon as Venus enters Taurus, it will be coming to square Pluto in Aquarius. So we have a Venus is square Pluto, and on the Tuesday, so Tuesday the 30th, we have the moon coming as well. So Tuesday might be quite an intense time. Moon and Pluto in a square to that Venus in Taurus. So emphasizing anything that has to do with the intensity of emotions, intensity of feelings. Relationships might be more intense as well than usual, or any issues around money, any Venusian issues might be intensified by that square to Pluto. So really, ideally, you want to place this transit in your chart and see where is Taurus, early Taurus, where is early Aquarius as well. And you can weave in more meaning and more information, really. Personalize this transit as much as you can, because so far we know that there could be a lot of intensity and a lot of intense emotions. But if you have your natal Venus at 2 degrees Aquarius, then that's going to be even more powerful to you than to me, for example, without having anything at the early degrees of the fixed signs necessarily. So really weave that back into your chart as much as you can. But heads up that Tuesday might be an intense day, might be not the day necessarily to have that deep, difficult conversation, because you might be getting in touch with things that you need to digest first. I always think that having a reactive conversation when we are really in the grips of, under the grips of very, very intense emotions may not necessarily be the best course of action. Sometimes it is, and I get that as well. Sometimes, is what it takes for us to really blurt something out and really get something out of the way or out in the open. So that might be the case, but I do think that this is one of the benefits of astrology and knowing about the astrological transits, which is navigate these energies with awareness. Getting your surfing boards here, because Tuesday might be a very intense day, so let's be aware of it. And let's make the most, especially for the empaths out there and the highly sensitives as well. Let's make the most in terms of not exposing ourselves to a very difficult situation if we can, because people might be feeling very intense. And if you're picking up on people's feelings, then you're going to be picking up on that sense of collective energy as well. So I think that's the good thing about knowing the transits, is navigating in that way. So Venus is square Pluto, and on Tuesday we have the other ingress as well. So Mars is ingressing in Aries. So Mars is moving from Pisces to Aries, and again bringing a little bit of emphasis to that Aries combo that we've been having for a while, right? So that North Node, Chiron in Aries as well for ages, and Mercury that's being retrograde in Aries as well. So Mars is stepping into Aries, is emphasizing that energy. Perhaps having a little bit more clarity around action taking. What do we want to take action? Where do we want to invest our energy and our willpower as well? I think that Mars-Neptune conjunction from Sunday, that brought up potentially a lot of confusion and not being so sure about our direction and where we wanted to go or not. With Mars entering Aries on Tuesday, there could be more clarity. And during the time that Mars is traveling Aries, there's going to be more clarity around these things, initiative, assertion, what we want, what makes us angry, be a little bit more expressive about all of that stuff as well, I think is emphasized with that Mars in Aries. So we have those ingresses this week. Jupiter and Uranus are still going to be traveling together very powerfully. And on the 2nd of May, here we are. We can see Pluto is in red here, which means in my software is turning retrograde. So that's the other transit for this week for us to navigate. So there's a little bit of a Pluto presence this week, and it's already being carried over or further from that full moon, right? In fact, the Venus in Taurus is a 4 degrees and a degree that the full moon happened as an opposition here. So we might be getting in touch with consequences or taking action in connection to the things that we came to know during the full moon in Scorpio. You know, depends on what came up to you, what happened during that full moon in Scorpio for you, because it was a full moon in square to Pluto. So that intensity is still with us, and we're still kind of carrying it forward. Now with Pluto moving backwards as well, and it will be backwards for about 5 months, is a real period of reassessment of all the Plutonic transformations and all the Pluto energy that we've been, you know, all the things that we've been dealing with. And it's going to be the last time that Pluto will be popping back into Capricorn in our lifetime anyways. It will go back to Capricorn, but that's in 280 years or something. So it will be a while. But that's still going to be a return to Capricorn this year, towards the second half of the year. And it will go just to 29 degrees Capricorn. And then it will move back for good into Aquarius. And we'll have delightful Aquarian shadows to work with. But for now, there's still a little bit of Capricorn cleanup that we're going to be doing. And if you have any planets, especially personal planets, around the late degrees of the cardinal signs, so 29, 28 degrees of Capricorn, Libra, Cancer, or Aries, then this is a big time for you. Where you're going to be dealing with some of the big themes of this Pluto transit that you're having for a while. So you might feel it on the 2nd of May this week on Thursday when Pluto stations to go retrograde, because then we feel that pull again, right? And we start feeling it, and maybe the situations around us reflect this period and this moment to kind of reassess and get in touch with some of these work that we might be doing connected to Pluto. So anything to do with death, rebirth, regeneration, transformation, intensity, obsessions, compulsions, etc. So it's still a bit of an intense week, even though I said it's a little less busy. But so here's Friday. I'm not going to go into on 1st of May is also the launch of my astrology masterclasses. So this is going to be the 3rd week of my astrological tarot masterclasses, but it will be the beginning of my astrology masterclasses. So just astrology. So if you want to learn, if you want to look into the building blocks of astrology more, learn how to read charts, etc., that's for you. So have a look at the link, see if you're interested, come along. It's going to be fun. And otherwise, this is what we have for this week. This is what's happening. Oh, so that's it. Let me know in the comments. What are your plans? What are you doing? Where is that Pluto in your chart? Do you have any cardinal 29, 28 degrees? Can you feel this Pluto transit? And yeah, you looking forward to any of these transits this week? I do look forward to Venus in Taurus. And I am appreciating more and more massages and spas and Taurian things, because my partner has Venus in Taurus and he really loves it. So I'm enjoying those things more and more. Anyhow, I'm going to stop digressing, and I'm going to wish you a wonderful weekend, a beautiful week as well. And I'll be seeing you next week, maybe on my masterclasses or maybe next Friday. So I'll see you soon. Bye bye. Take care.